Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to see about the introduction of educational psychology. Let us proceed with the lesson. So, what does mean by education? We all very well know that it is the thing that is carried out by one person standing in front of the class, transmitting some sort of information, which we call it as a felicitator. So, what does mean by the term psychology? Does anyone has any idea? Yes, it studies the behavior, activities, and mental process of human beings. Yes, it tells about about the human psyche. It is all the psychological factors attached to any human being. What is educational psychology then? So the application of psychology to education by focusing on the development, evaluation and application of theories and principle learning and instruction can enhance lifelong learning. Yes, actually educational psychology is the branch of psychology. It is concerned with scientific or human learning. The study of learning processes from both cognitive and behavioral perspectives. It allows the researchers to understand individual differences in intelligence, cognitive development, affect, motivation, self-regulation, and in much more concepts, as well as in the role of play, learning also. Yes, the field of educational psychology relies it's heavily on quantitative methods like including testing, measurements to enhance educational activities related to instructional design. This we all know. So, educational psychology, it can be in part be understood through its relationship with other disciplines too. It is informed primarily by psychology bearing a relationship to that discipline analogs. It happens, and curriculum development, organizational learning, student motivation. Educational psychology, like as we all know, it is a positivist school which could be defined as knowledge and facts exist within the real world. It can be discovered by setting up experiments in which conditions are carefully controlled. The field of educational psychology, it involves the study of memory, then conceptual process, individual differences via cognitive psychology. Educational psychology, has been built upon theories of operant conditioning. These are all the very important theories that which we are going to discuss in the future in the upcoming lessons. It includes operant conditioning, functionalism, structuralism, like constructivism, humanistic psychology, gestalt psychology, and information processing, and much more. So behaviorism, the founder of the modern behaviorism is B.F. Skinner. He was the one who initiated behaviorism. This approach attempted to explain all learning in terms of conditioning. Human behavior could be explained in terms of stimulus response, that we all know, stimulus response. Learning was the result of environmental rather than genetic factors. Yes, learning takes place based upon the environment we are looking in. Yeah, rather than the genetical factors attached to it, it is a result of the environmental things that is happening around us. A powerful influence to the development of audiolingual approach. So, with the audiolingual approach, we have certain characteristics attached to it, like a pattern drill, memorization, or choral repetition likewise. So, what does mean by cognitive psychology? As we have discussed earlier, it is concerned with the way in which human mind thinks and learns. Learner is seen as an active participant in the learning process. So, information processing, it is mainly concerned with the way in which people take information, process it and act upon it. It focuses on attention, perception, that is perception is how you view that particular thing, how you take the particular factor into account, then the memory of that particular person. Like it can be defined as sensory memory, short-term memory and long-term memory. The successful application of memory research to foreign languages, it has been taken upon by Gruneberg in the year 1987 and David Ausubel in the year 1968. And here is something which we have taken into account when it comes to the learning educational psychology, intelligence and intelligence testing. Educational psychology, we all know, has got as a rapid growth and development as a profession in the last 20 years. School of Psychology in various places, they have begun it with the concept of intelligent testing, leading to provisions for special education students who could not be able to follow the regular classroom curriculum in the early part of the 20th century and all. Then, what are the perspectives it has been attached, as we have seen earlier, applied behavioral analysis, determination theory, and much more. So, among current educational psychologists, the cognitive perspective is more widely held than the behavioral perspective. And related to it, the continuation of this we will see in the next video. In view of intelligence, we are just looking upon what Philip Vernon in the year 1964 suggested, that intelligence can be in terms of in the form of A, B or C type, like intelligence with which we are born, which is already inbuilt. And it is another type of intelligence which aspects our everyday lives. And the third type is intelligence which is measured by IQ test. Then Sternberg defines it as a triarchic theory of intelligence, which has meta components like cognitive skills, performance, solving problem, knowledge acquisition likewise. Intelligence has been defined in many ways. The capacity for abstraction, logic, understanding, self-awareness, learning, emotional knowledge, and problem solving even. More generally, it can be described as the ability to perceive or infer information and to retain it as knowledge that is to be applied towards adaptive behaviors within an environment or a context. Yes, that is what he defines as. So an intelligence test, which we call it as MLAT, it makes people possess a fixed amount of ability at language learning. They predict someone's success at learning foreign language. Then IQ test, we all know, it predicts academic success, including success at learning languages. Intelligence is most often studied in humans, but has also been observed in both human animals and plants, despite controversy in various aspects. So how do we define human intelligence? It is the intellectual power of humans, which is marked by complex cognitive feats and high levels of motivation and self-awareness. Yes, of course, it is a cognitive process. It gives human their cognitive abilities to learn, form new concepts and understand the concepts that has been formed, and reason, including the capacities to recognize patterns, innovate, plan, solve problems, and employ language to communicate. So yes, of course, as we all very well know, intelligence is different from learning. Learning refers to the act of retaining facts and information. Yes. So there has always been a debate about if human intelligence is based on hereditary factors or it is based on environmental factors. Hereditary intelligence is the theory that intelligence is fixed upon but and also it is able to grow. It is a growing process. Environmental, like constructivism, is being defined as it is individuals are actively involved in it right from birth in constructing. And this constructivism, as we have seen in the last slide, it is the theory that says that learners construct knowledge rather than just passively taking in information. As people experience the world and reflect upon those experiences, They build their own representations and incorporate new information into the knowledge which is pre-existing, So what is the actual concept of constructivism? It says that it is an element, for example, an elementary school teacher represents a class problem to measure the length of the Mayflower. For example, rather than starting the problem by introducing the ruler, the teacher allows the students to reflect and to conduct their own methods of measurement of its own. So what is meant by this constructivism theory is where learners are open to construct their own knowledge than passively learning from other sources, It's an important theory. Like Pickett saw cognitive development as essentially a process of maturation. It is a process of maturity. It is accomplished by the process of assimilation and accommodation. Then, as we all know, Jerome Bruner, he says that the development of conceptual understanding and of cognitive skills and strategies is a central aim of education rather than the acquisition of factual information. And he also says that teaching aspects of the target language and language skills, developing learners' ability to analyze the language and to guess the rules operated. So children can handle different methods of thinking according to Brunner. Inactive, which means through their actions. Then the second type is iconic, which is by means of visual imagery at the with the subconscious mind. Then the third type is by using language.